I want to start off today's show just telling you I don't want to cover this story, but the more success Michigan has, these rumors never seem to end. It's all the usual folks, the national folks, right? They've got to have something to write about, but came out late on Monday and continued to get buzz into Tuesday that the Indianapolis Colts and their owner Jim Harbaugh plan to vigorously pursue Jim Harbaugh for their head coaching position. Right, they fired their head coach about 4 or 5 weeks ago. They've had Jeff Saturday kind of filling in, not even a real coach, and they just blew the biggest lead in NFL history, 33 points on Saturday to the Vikings. So maybe they're coming after their old quarterback Jim Harbaugh, led him to the 1995 AFC Championship game. That's the rumors. Jim Harbaugh has said recently that he plans to coach for Michigan, well into the future. He had made some sort of statement right after the Big Ten championship game. But I'll ask you guys this question. What can Jim Harbaugh do to end the NFL rumors forever? Right, there's a school of thought that says, well, why would he? It's leverage to get more money from Michigan. Yeah, maybe. I think the better leverage there is just to keep beating Ohio State, going to the college football playoff every year. But, I guess more than having more than one lever to pull as a coach in negotiations, right? We told you Harbaugh is in the final processes of likely hiring an agent for future negotiations, whether against Michigan or the NFL. But I hope this goes away. I hope Michigan Harbaugh should just come out and say, I will never coach in the NFL again, ever, even if it's for $100 million. But I doubt he will say that, considering, Michigan fans and, most of Michigan's decision makers were ready to fire Jim Harbaugh less than 2 years ago, made him take a 50% cut in his annual contract. But let me know down in the comments what you think Jim Harbaugh should do to end the NFL rumors forever. All right, folks, you are watching the Michigan Football Report. We are presented by Manscaped. Go over to manscaped.com. Use that promo code GOBLUE, no spaces, for 20% off and free shipping. Makes a great stocking stuffer. Get your guy something to trim up down below, trim up here, hair products, deodorant, lip balm, etc. Manscaped.com. Best products in the game for the guy in your life. All right, we are going to take our mailbag questions to have some insight on the transfer portal, what it means for Michigan's depth chart moving forward. It's the Michigan Football Report by Chat Sports coming up right now. All right, answer the question, what should Jim Harbaugh do to end the NFL rumors forever? So make sure you guys go down in the comments and let me know. One more reminder, because look, I'm going to send him some of these responses, send them right to his email address and say, Jim, here's what the people said on this one. So let me know down in the comments. And as I told you yesterday, we're approaching 25,000 subscribers, gained 60 or so overnight. So really appreciate everyone who has subscribed or sent it to a friend. Send at 24,819. We'd love to get there either before or during tomorrow's live show. We'll be live 5 p.m. Eastern, youtube.com/Michigan TV. We'll have the Jair Hill announcement. Waiting on details on the stream, but we will announce it live on screen so you won't miss anything by joining the show right at 5 Eastern. Then we'll dive into Michigan's transfer portal rumors and updates and the 2023 Michigan football recruiting class. All right, let's talk about Blake Corum to start. Do you think, this question's coming in from Carson Scott, do you think Blake Corum will come back next year? If so, what will Donovan Edwards do, transfer or stay? Now, I don't think Donovan Edwards would transfer if Corum came back. If he did come back, which I don't think is a crazy possibility, right? He re-injured his knee. He's got to get surgery. He's not going to be in a spot to go through all the things that you'd want to as an NFL prospect. The combine, right? That's end of February. The NFL draft is end of April. So Blake Corum might just decide, look, if I want to have my best foot forward to be a second-round draft pick, third-round draft pick, maybe I need to come back to Michigan for a year. Can Michigan put together a name, image, and likeness package that would be in the same ballpark as a rookie second or third-round draft pick? Maybe. But I think Michigan would be better at rotating them, that they didn't seem to do that great of a job this year. Went to Blake Corum early and blew too many teams out. And then it was Edwards got hurt, all Corum, and then Edwards got hurt. He came in, helped out against Penn State. He got hurt again, and so they really didn't have more than 1 or 2 games this year where they both played the entire game, and they were both healthy. So I think you would get more like the Penn State game than you would any of the other games this season. My guy Tim Matsky, coming in from Puritan1646 on Twitter, says, with 3 offensive line transfers, what do you see the offensive line looking like next September by position? Well, I use enough guys here that for Michigan that have the ability to play multiple positions. I won't break it down by position, but I'm going to say this, and we'll look at the players in particular. The 2023 depth chart for Michigan, in a lot of positions right now, but most importantly, offensive line, I think, is very intriguing, right? 5 of the 6 guys from 2022, from this year, have eligibility in 2023. So if 2 or 3 of those guys don't leave, right? Oluwatimi is the only one that has to leave, has no eligibility left. If 2 or 3 other ones don't leave, then this room could get pretty crowded. Let's just take a look at the guys who were starters, not necessarily because of injury, right? Carson Barnhart was the 6th offensive lineman, but he quickly moved after Trente Jones's injury, and Jones never really recaptured that. Barnhart moved into the starting lineup, and there were other guys like Giovanni El-Hadi and others that had starting roles this year. But Ryan Hayes, Trente Jones, Trevor Keegan, Zach Zinter were opening day starters, and then Barnhart moved in there throughout the year. But look at that. I mean, Hayes, because of the COVID year, right, if you guys don't recall, 2020 was not counted towards anyone's eligibility. All these guys still have eligibility, and 4 of the 5 have multiple years of eligibility. Ryan Hayes, starting left tackle, 1 more year. Carson Barnhart will be next year in his 5th year. He'll have 2 seasons left. Trevor Keegan, 2 seasons left in 2023 and 24. Trente Jones, he'll be in his 5th year of 6 potentially as he redshirted 2 more seasons. And then Zach Zinter, I expect Zinter to probably be one of these guys that definitely goes pro, as he's being projected as a 2nd or 3rd round pick. Even though he's been a 3-year starter, he will have 2 more seasons of eligibility, as 2020, when he started as a true freshman, does not count against his eligibility. Those guys might be back next year, but you will be back in the good graces of the lady or guy in your life, or a family member you're looking to get a gift for this holiday season. If you go to Manscaped, use promo code GOBLUE for 20% off and free shipping. My favorite product, you see right there on the screen, it's the Lawnmower 4.0. You can buy it on itself, normally $89, 20% off, $71.99. Right? You don't want to be using a Bic razor, the shaver you use around your beard or anything to go down below. That's kind of gross, guys. Get going with Manscaped with the Lawnmower 4.0 or awesome Platinum package. It's got the Lawnmower 4.0. It's got the ear and the weed whacker to get your nose, your ear hair, etc. Deodorant. It's also got shower gel. It's got shampoo and conditioner all in one. My entire bathroom at this point is Manscaped, including the Manscaped boxers. And if you ever catch me out of town, I've got the Manscaped travel bag as well. This bad boy is normally like $155. You can get it with the 20% off for $123.99. It's literally so much product. You'll have to just buy it maybe like once once a year, or once or twice a year with Manscaped. Manscaped.com, promo code GOBLUE, 20% off and free shipping. Quick little story on Manscaped. Had a neighborhood, a guy at a party on Saturday night in my neighborhood. He had a white elephant party, right? It was like a $30 or $40 limit. What did I do? I splurged a little bit more. I got him I got a Manscaped for this white elephant gift exchange, Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0, and a pair of Manscaped boxers. Let me just tell you this. It was the best gift by far, and it became the talk of the party afterwards. So make sure you're the talk of your family. Manscaped.com, promo code GOBLUE. Question coming in from Bill Griffin. He's at Griff3810 on Twitter. Do you think the emphasis on the portal is going to disrupt the culture of the team? I have to think some of the younger guys who have been paying their dues are not going to be happy. My take on this is it's certainly possible, and I mean, likely in a lot of ways, right, that guys would be, think about if you're a backup offensive lineman, Greg Crippen or others. Michigan just brought in Stanford starting center. Maybe they're going to be upset and go out there. I would think that Michigan communicated to every player coming out of the Ohio State game, out of the Big Ten championship game, here is where your eligibility stands. Here's where your place is in the depth chart going forward, and here's why we're going to look at options at your position if they did. And I'm sure a lot of it will come down to is we don't think right now to end the season you're at championship level by next season, right? So we're going to come in and try and get a 1 or 2 year stopgap. You're in your 2nd year. Well, you're not going to be a starter your 3rd year, but you can stick with us. You can be part of this program that's winning championships, going to the College Football Playoff, and be a starter a year from now if you keep it up, right? Be the 2024, 2025 season. But I do think they probably were very communicative to players that they're going to recruit over in the transfer portal, and at the end of the day, it probably comes down to those guys making what's best decision for them, knowing that they might have to sit or compete a little more for a job they potentially thought was theirs. Question coming in from Eric Saleh is at Eric13ESS. Here's my question. Can I be on your show? Laugh out loud. Well, it's no laughing matter, Eric. Want to make sure you guys know we are doing live shows every single week. Our super chat leaders are these guys, right? John Blaze Wolverine. I'm going to give, if you guys saw, I've been giving shout outs to the helmet stickers. John's getting like 17 more from his huge super chat day last week. Wolverine Alaska, Blue Wolverine, Cool Moti, Shane Johnson, among others like Rick Harford, Dan Ferrer, Preston Yoder, Josh Sherwood, And I think I'm seeing a lot of the same names here. Blue Wolverine we've got there. How about Some Guy? We haven't seen that one. He just called himself Some Guy a couple weeks back. Dominic Franchillo and Josh Sherwood, Stephen Mers, Jeremy Clore. So we got a ton of super chatters. That is our top. Takes $10 to get on the super chat helmet, which we're going to fill with dollar bills and give away along with a Blake Corum signed football. Here's the super chat menu. $100 get you on the show. Now I'm not trying to say you have to do it. Don't certainly super chat $100 if it's not in your budget or anything like that. But we will FaceTime you live on the show on Wednesday for a $100 super chat. So make sure you guys, and check back my Twitter on Thursday night. We had two Blue Wolverine and John Blaze both put $50 in at once, and we put out a video while we were live, a Twitter video kind of over the top of the head, tweeted it out, selfie video, and thanked them for their description. So if you want to see me get nuts, that was the menu from last week. We might change things up, but that's the kind of things we do with our super chat menu. It is kind of stupid human tricks here at the Michigan Football Report, and we will be live tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern for the Jair Hill signing or commitment, expected to go to Michigan, and from there have about 90 minutes of Michigan football news, rumors, and your questions. So make sure you join. It's youtube.com/Michigan TV. Have you joined our shows, right? Let me know. The live chat goes crazy sometimes, so it's tough to always keep in touch with it while we are live on air. So let me know down in the comments. Comment me if you've been watching our live shows over the past 4 or 5 weeks. Let me know down in the comments. Just comment me. I'll make sure to get down there and give some shout outs on Wednesday's live shows to those of you commenting me. All right, how about this guy? Hit me up on Twitter. I asked for some questions yesterday, and he says it's at Frog Lover, and he totally hacked. I'm sure Lover was actually spelled out properly. That's why he had to go with L-U-V-R. Boy, is this Harrison's burner? Might be Harrison's burner. Producer Jack said absolutely. He says Frogs win 28-24. So what I want to do now is welcome this guy to the Michigan Football Report at Frog Lover Boy, Harrison Graham's burner, clearly. So let's do the Michigan Flash Mob Tuesday. That's the name of the game here. Go to Twitter right now and just tweet Go Blue. There's his Twitter account right below the bottom of the screen, Frog Lover Boy. I'm going to put a link to the bottom, or a link to his Twitter account right at the end of the first paragraph of today's YouTube description. It'll also be down in the comments, but just go write it down there. Screenshot this. That's Frog, L-U-V-R, Boy, and just tell him Go Blue. Make sure he's feeling extra welcome by the Michigan football fan base. Will Vanderwood says, Yoder, do you think we're going to snag a portal QB for depth in 2023? If so, who? The who part is a tad preposterous to even consider because there's so many moving parts in the transfer portal. I don't think anybody with a sane mind is being able to keep up with what prospects are going where. There's well over 1,000 players in the transfer portal. Here's where Michigan stands in the team rankings, though. So they're doing a good job. They're doing a phenomenal job, right? 5 starters at other schools have now transferred to Michigan, 5 high-level commits. And Michigan's got not only the highest quality, but also the most commits of the top 15, 20 programs in the transfer portal team rankings, right above UCLA, Florida State, and others. You see Iowa there, number 5. Who are their only 2 transfers right now? Well, Eric All, of course, and Cade McNamara. So that's kind of where things shake out there. My take right now is this. They're not going to get, I don't think at least, a guy who was a starter at another school unless something drastic happened like he got benched, a starter from 2022. Where I think they need to decide here is the options are a 1-year backup, so it's maybe somebody who lost their job or didn't live up to his recruiting hype but still has some good game tape that Michigan could look at and say, okay, you can come here to Michigan. You're a 4th-year, 5th-year player. Go try and start getting a grad degree at one of Michigan's great grad school programs and be a 1-year backup to JJ McCarthy in 2023. Okay, cool. The other option is, hey, after 2023, after the season, we didn't really take a high-level recruit in the 2022 class or the 2023 class. Jaden Davis might be coming around the corner, but you could be the backfill for those 2 recruiting classes gaps. We don't have a ton of necessarily high-level recruits behind JJ. So that's a potential pitch if there's like a first-year or second-year guy that hasn't got the playing time. Maybe he got passed over by someone in his class or someone, a sophomore who already got passed over by a true freshman. Come here, compete in 2024 if JJ McCarthy leaves for the transfer portal. But I don't think anyone certainly who's going to come in and want to compete for the job in 2023. So I'm interested to see. It's not for me to make this decision at this point. So speculating names, I think, is just kind of a waste of time at this point. But those are definitely the options that Michigan should be considering. Conman1342. I'm hoping Con is like he sells I don't know, something that has I don't know. Why would you call yourself Conman, Jack? Any ideas there? No idea, Jack says. But I like the name if it's all good fun, if you're actually counting people, nevertheless. Confidence level, maybe it's confidence, man. I guess that's what con man means. Confidence in level to beat TCU. How do we keep Max Duggan in the pocket? I mean, I've done a couple of previews on this game in the past. My general take on Max Duggan is he presents a greater threat than Coleridge Stroud does for Michigan, or to Michigan, because of his ability to run and maybe his ability to be tough, right? Stroud has the more accurate, the bigger arm, and the better receivers, better talent around him. But Max Duggan has something that I think could present trouble to Michigan, which is they're going to have to hit him hard to rattle him, right? That's one of my takeaways. I put 5 keys to beating TCU. One is hits to the max. Make sure he fears scrambling. He is in pain. He gets knocked around. I heard an interview with him. He said he had scrapes and cuts and bruises after the Big 12 title game from how many times he got hit by Kansas State. But that still didn't deter him. And over Stroud, Stroud would just air it out. So Michigan could drop 8 guys in coverage, 7 guys in coverage, and still be confident in their pass rush to get to him because they knew Stroud wasn't going to take off and run. That's not the same with Max Duggan. So Michigan has to have a completely different game plan for Duggan. Hit him hard, make him see ghosts early, and I think you will maybe put the thought in his mind that, gosh, I don't want to slide or go out and run again because if I get hit, I might be knocked out of the game here. But let me know what you guys think for score predictions, Michigan, TCU. I'm sticking to my score prediction. I think TCU moves the ball very well between the 20s, but Michigan clamps down 5 field goals. I'm going 35-15. Michigan gets 5 touchdowns. TCU gets 5 field goals. Maybe TCU gets 1 touchdown. It could be more like the Big Ten championship game, something like 35-22 or something like that. But I think that's where it shakes out. Michigan 35-15. Eric Sloan. Quite a few questions. He's the hashtag king. He knows all the things that press our buttons here. He's like, what's the fastest 5-star quarterback, Jaden Davis? Which Michigan player has his breakout game in the win or will have his breakout game in the win we're going to get against TCU? Hashtag Bosa. I like this one. Hashtag Yoder for Michigan GM. I mean, people have said that I'd be the best candidate. I don't know about any of that at this point. But I'll take the first question, the first part first. Jaden Davis, as you guys saw last week, is not announcing before December 31st his self-proclaimed deadline to commit. And it seems like name, image, and likeness will be a big factor here, whether Michigan can land him. Clearly they didn't do the same with Dante Moore, or didn't put together a package that was enticing. But after JJ McCarthy, the depth, the high-quality depth is sparse, to be frank. Right? Davis Warren, a walk-on, is your perceived backup in the bowl games going into next year. So if Davis doesn't commit to Michigan and commit to him soon, I think the panic button needs to be pressed now. I would actually kind of tell him, look, if you're not committed by like the January 15th or so, a week after the national title game, January 16th, 18th, something like that, then I think Michigan should absolutely vigorously go after transfer portal quarterbacks that have 2 or 3 years of eligibility to supplement the 2022 and 2023 classes. No matter what Davis does, if he decides to commit elsewhere, he kind of misses out on the spot to be like a ready-made second-year starter after McCarthy potentially leaves if he does stay for 2024. 25,000 subscribers. We are getting so close. Thanks to everybody who got over the limit there, got us closer, got us over 24,800. I did want to say one thing on that last question. Person who might have a breakout game. I didn't actually address that. We can stay here, Jack. It's fine. A breakout game against TCU. It's interesting because we've had some weird ones like Cornelius Johnson, huge breakout game against Ohio State. I think keep an eye on Colston Loveland, right? He's not going to be necessarily a name no one knows here, but JJ McCarthy definitely feels great about throwing to him. They're throwing the ball deep to him. He has 2 deep touchdown passes. One great pass in coverage against Purdue. One just a great route and got wide open against Ohio State. So keep an eye out for Colston Loveland. I think there's a potential he could have his first 100-yard game. That's my potential breakout player. Let me know yours down in the comments, and make sure you guys join us tomorrow, 5 o'clock Eastern. Jair Hill announcement, recruiting commitment tomorrow, 5 sharp, and then we'll go into our full 90-minute show from there, youtube.com/MichiganTV. Till I see you guys live tomorrow, go Blue.